Yep, you read the title right. Today, I'll be giving Warframes Pokemon types. Now, this is an incredibly stupid video because I have never played any Pokemon games, nor have I watched any of the shows. So my Pokemon knowledge is essentially non-existent. What I know a lot about, on the other hand, is Warframe. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Before we start, I want to lay out some rules. Most of the Warframes could be Steel type, considering they are biomechanical, so I'll try not to give any of the frames Steel types unless I really think they deserve it. On that note, I should also mention I will try to vary up the typings as much as possible, so it's not all the same types. Also, like I mentioned already, I don't play a lot of Pokemon, so what I say might be wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. And as much as I've played a lot of Warframe, I've not played every frame and made builds for them. So if I get something wrong about your main, please, I'd appreciate any feedback. Special credit to this video by Upro Media TV, and this one by, I'm not gonna try that name because I'll butcher it, and this one by Oblivion's Legacy, because they helped me a lot when making this video. And lastly, all of this is my opinion. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started on our first frame. Going in alphabetical order, we start with Ash. Ash is a stealth frame who in lore is an assassin. In game, you tend to utilize his invisibility to take out opponents undetected. For this reason, I will give him the ghost type. His stealth and his ability to disappear in an instant is very similar to a ghost. Never seen, yet a haunting presence to his targets. His second typing comes from his work as an assassin, and that's the dark type. The dark type is usually associated with A, just straight up evil, or B, underhand tactics, and the guy who dispatches his targets while invisible definitely earns his dark type. Plus, he is stealthy, and stealth is closely associated with the dark. Next up is Atlas, and it's pretty obvious he'd be a rock type. I mean, all his abilities deal with stone, so that typing was a given. And additionally, I believe he should get the fighting type. He literally shadow boxes in his idle animation, and a lot of his designs are similar to that of a boxer, the legs and the gauntlets just to name a few. So due to this unique mix of rocky moves and boxer finish, Atlas definitely earns his rock fighting typing. Next up is Banshee. Now, Banshee's kinda weird because of how Pokemon handles sound. There's a lot of sound moves in game, but no sound type. All the sound moves end up being normal or fairy. So, considering Banshee's whole kit is sound, I'll be giving her both the normal and fairy type. Also, Banshees are wailing spirits in mythology, and what are fairies? Spirits. Case closed. Next is our pacifist Baruch. So to me, Baruch is most definitely a fighting type. Even though he's a pacifist frame, the best way to stop violence is to end the fight in a second. And plus, his 4 is him literally throwing hands. But due to the nature of his other abilities and how they calm down enemies, I think he can also get the fairy type. He could get the psychic type instead because he's technically messing with their minds. But fairy is more associated with healing, good intentions and peace, which Baruch perfectly embodies. Just don't make him angry. You won't like him when he's angry. Next up is Caliban. So Caliban is a sentient fused with Warframe and can summon other sentients to help him fight. So it's kinda hard to give him typing, but to me, he's a dragon type. And although he isn't an actual dragon, not all dragon types are dragons. Some are associated with ancient and archaic power, which to me is exactly what the sentient part of Caliban is. Now, I wasn't quite happy with giving him pure dragon, so his second type is psychic, because that type deals with magic, and Caliban's abilities feel more magical than the other frames. Ban was the dragon type due to his magic and arcane abilities. Next up, we have an actual dragon in Chroma. So obviously, Chroma is a dragon type, and I think for the most part, you could have him as a mono type, but I wouldn't be adverse to giving him the flying type, because dragons usually fly, and his passive is based on dragonflight. But to me, Chroma is a pure dragon type, and yes, I know he can do toxic, fire, electricity, and cold damage, but you can't give him 5 types, so it's just easier to say pure dragon and maybe flying. Citrine is unsurprisingly a rock type because of her crystal-like abilities, but I don't think she's pure rock, because while she uses gems, she's not really a physical frame, and most rock types are strong, physical, and defensive, and she offers a lot of support to the team, which is why I believe she's a rock fairy type. I mean, like I said, fairy types are healers and supporters, or just the embodiment of good, and Citrine can dish out some crazy healing and support for her whole team, earning her this type. Sight 09 is quite interesting. His playstyle is focused around stealth and sniping, so I think Sight is a ghost steel type. I mean, if I made Ash a ghost type due to his stealthy playstyle, then Sight definitely fits the bill. There's also an argument for him to be dark type because he is a sniper, and snipers are usually assassins, but to me that's kinda weak. But I could see a better argument for dark from Quincy's personality. Quincy did grow up on the streets and was poor, which probably led him to do some bad stuff, but again, not enough for me to just give Sight the dark type. I think the ghost type is more fitting for Sight. If it was just Quincy we were talking about, then the dark type is justified. But overall, Sight is a ghost steel type, while Quincy is a dark steel. Next up is the Goth. Daggith?
And yes, she's pronounced Daggith, not Dagoth. I know that because I was sponsored to make a video on her when she released, and I pronounced her Dagoth, and then they asked me to re-record it and pronounce her Daggith throughout the entire video. So yes, she's called Daggith, and if you call her Dagoth, you're objectively wrong. I know also the developers themselves usually call her Dagoth, but they're also objectively wrong.
I guess it's Daggith. In any case, Daggith easily gets the ghost type. I mean, she literally has ghost horses and a bunch of spirit-themed abilities. I briefly considered giving her the normal type, because normal types are sometimes just kinda animals, and Daggith's horse is an animal, but I quickly disregarded this idea because her horse is a Kaith, which is anything but a normal horse. You could argue flying because Kaith can fly, so there is that. But flying is not integral to her play style and her general vibe, which is kind of what I'm basing this off of. So she really wouldn't fit the flying type. So Daggith ends up as a pure ghost type. After our deathly horse rider, we have our mage. Dante is one of my favorite frames, and he is so good. I won't be talking about his kit that much because it's obviously not that type of video, but like, he can buff allies, debuff enemies, become practically, and he deals stupid amounts of damage. But anyway, Dante is going to be a psychic type. That's the most magical type. Dante is also going to be pure psychic because all his abilities are based on magic. On a side note, DE, drop a Dante skin and my life is yours. Next up, we got Ember. Firstly, DE, you all are freaked out. We know what type of people you are. Secondly, she's a pure fire type. I don't think I need to explain why that is, so we are moving on now. Next up is the queen of the night and day. Equinox absolutely has to be dual type because she literally has 2 forms in game, one based on the day and one based on the night. So I think she earns the dark fairy type. Dark type for the night even though she isn't really evil or malicious, which is usually what gives Pokemon their dark typing, I think we can make an exception. And fairy type, because it's the closest thing to light and day in the Pokemon world. Like, basically any move associated with light is a fairy type move. So that's how Equinox earns her dark fairy type. Next up, we got the poster boy of the franchise, Excalibur. Quick shout out to all the people with Excalibur Prime, because you're the reason the game exists today. Anyway, to me, Excalibur is a steel fighting type. Steel for his sword-based abilities. You could say that he is psychic because he uses energy weapons like his radial javelin and radial blind, but come on, by that logic, almost all the frames would be psychic, and that's no fun. And the fighting type comes from how he is noble. The game literally says he's the embodiment of the warrior spirit. And that's what a lot of fighting types are, honorable warriors. As for Excalibur Umbra, he is dark steel type. Umbra is not nearly as noble. He, in fact, is driven by revenge and is very ferocious. As for Author, he gets the same typing as normal Excalibur. He is a warrior, a soldier, and a great leader. Fun fact, Excalibur is the frame with the most variations. He has his default, his prime, his Umbra version, and the Umbra Prime version, and the Proto Frame version. He also has the most cosmetics with 10 helmets and a whopping 27 skins, which is pretty wild. And that's it for today. Thank you all for watching this video. This video was a lot of fun to make, and I really want to make a second one. So if you guys want a second one, be sure to like this video. Again, if you have suggestions for typings or any corrections to the typings I already mentioned, leave them in the comments. I want to start making more content like this in the future because it's really nice to break out of the manga recommendation cycle, especially considering how long it takes me to make a single one of those videos. In any case, I'm really thankful for you guys, and let's make this year a great one. See you in the next video. Let's out.